Hey everybody, so the 30 Days of Willow, that the first 4 videos that I did are still part of the series. I failed epically at doing one 10-minute video a day. I started filming other videos and they were an hour long, half-hour long, that sort of thing. So I'm still doing this series, but it's going to be less of a challenge for me and more of a, here's 30 days of video, a playlist for you, 10-minute videos of experiences and other things. So we're just kind of slightly changing what the format is. So today, let's see what's coming up today. I had a starseed reading. Now, for those of you who do not know what a starseed is, a starseed is a past life as another being. So a past life as a galactic, a faery, really can be anything. It can be a dragon. It can be anything that is essentially not this life, because even though we uh, we call them past lives, usually a lot of people connect past lives to human lives. A starseed life is typically connected to a galactic life. It's a label towards galactic, more meaning like other planetary system type of thing. But when I've done my readings, I have connected to all kinds of different lives. None of them human. That's the one stipulation. But recently, I had a woman who was this very beautiful, fairy-looking being in a world that looks like it was straight out of one of our fantasy movies, with physical dragons flying around, a mountain in the distance, and she had this flowing blue energetic color to her, like it was part physical, part energetic within her being, like these elemental, I don't know what to call them, flames maybe. But her job in this space was that she would go to fields that had been burned, areas of nature that had been destroyed, and would heal those areas. So for her starseed reading, we came through with a being who was actually from another, like, dimension, space, time type of thing. Whereas, for example, the one I did today had a very interesting insectoid looking being. Almost looked like a mantid, for those of you familiar with mantids that look like praying mantises, but they were adamant they were not. Said they were from a world called Antioch, outside of Antares. So not from Antares, but like a star system outside of Antares, or a world outside of there. I get a lot of the insectoid beings. A lot of them come from that region, the Antares region, when I work with them. And this was a being who was very tall, looked like a praying mantis, had mandibles, um, had if you see close-ups of insects, they almost have like hair or barbs, had those all over him, uh, or I should say her, and had transparentish wings, but they were folded back because they were wearing a robe. They were wearing a purple robe, and then had this headdress. Now their head was smooth like an insect, didn't have hair or anything, but they had leaves everywhere. And then they had this big gold headdress that was basically a band that went behind them. So it started like down here, and it was a big gold ring. And then there were plants all through that hanging down. And they were some sort of ceremonial shaman on that world. And they were talking about utilizing herbs, utilizing plants, and they stayed away from the language of herb. To them, an herb was something you ingest, which is the truth of what we do here. And they were talking about, you know, this person going in and utilizing plants for part of their healing capacity, part of their healing journey, and in their light work, but not just herbs. When we talk about plants, we often talk about ingesting them to heal ourselves. They were talking about the energetics of plants, the consciousness, about talking to them to help you heal, about using their energy in the field, and all this other cool stuff that was going on. And they were a galactic, so that was an actual star seed in the sense of a galactic life long ago on another another planet. Now, one of the cool things is because everything's quantum and everything's in the now moment, they even started their reading off saying, I am you now, then, and in the future, or something like that, because everything's quantum. So when I connect to these star seeds, and it took me a long time to figure this out, it was really weird because I would connect to them and feel like I was talking to an actual incarnated galactic, like I'm used to doing. And here, what I was doing is I was using my time travel capacity to connect to them back when they were alive. So I connect to conscious versions of your starseed self when I'm doing this work and can see what they're doing in the moments. And it's really interesting. I had one client was a mermaid, and she was a mermaid. I think she was in the Syrian mermaid. I don't remember. There are a lot of them out there, a lot of mermaids on different worlds, in different types of them. But Syrian's a big world for them. Those worlds also have a lot of activity with a race that is very much like the Na'vi in the Avatar movies. Those beings there's a race that is actually very much like those beings. And so her mermaid self came through and was like, they had these farms in the ocean where they would go and they would like count the crabs and count this and count that. And what was funny is those skills transferred to this life because she's an accountant in this life. And so her skills from that life were transferring over because there was a lot of accounting in that life. And I didn't know that. I sent that to her and she's like, oh, that's part of it. I had another client where there was a galactic working in a warehouse, and he was in charge of this big, like, extraterrestrial warehouse with all this stuff going on, things I like, basically think futuristic warehouse robots, all kinds of other stuff. And in this life, he is a warehouse worker right now, trying to figure out what to shift into. So these starseed readings, often we come in with these skills that we're naturally drawn into, and we're drawn into because we did them in past lives that we just came off of, or that we had, a while back that we needed to get us acclimated to the journey now and provide us income and those sorts of things. The starseed readings are really fascinating. There's a lot of galactics come through. I'm trying to think of another one. I don't have anything popping in my mind right now. So that's the idea of starseed reading, though. It's a spirit art reading from the way I do it. It's a spirit art reading that connects you to a past self, because everything's the now moment. And in that moment, you can connect to your past self. You can see what you are doing. You can talk to them more. They can guide you more, because all of our lives are kind of in one moment at one time. And so we can talk to past selves, even future selves. I've met future versions of me, and we can like guide on that lifetime and tweak it as necessary, give advice, see what we would change, and understand why we are the way we are in this lifetime. Like, why are we doing the things we're doing, those types of things. And it all comes back to, in a past life, you probably used those skills to bring them down to earth and help you while bringing light to earth. So if you're interested in a starseed reading, see my website, awakenwithwillow.com. If you have questions about starseeds, galactics, that sort of thing, comment in the notes below, and I'll try to answer your questions. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Love you all.